You've probably heard the phrase dietary fiber 1,000 times. From doctors, nutritionists, even that one friend or family member. Fiber is good for you. You should eat more fiber. Buy foods with fiber. But here's the real question. Do you actually know what fiber is? Why does it play such a powerful role in your digestion, your metabolism, your heart health, even your longevity? And how much fiber do you really need each day to keep your body running at its best? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just know what fiber is. You'll see it as one of the most important allies your body has ever had. The Healthy Dividend. Wellness tips for a richer, healthier life. Dietary fiber is a type of carbohydrate found exclusively in plant foods that you cannot digest or absorb, because the human body doesn't have the tools to break that chain apart. Your digestive enzymes simply can't unlock it. It passes through your stomach, your small intestine, and most of your large intestine largely intact, and along the way it does something remarkable. It works for you rather than just fueling you. Dietary fiber helps regulate digestion, stabilize blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and perhaps most importantly, it feeds and supports the ecosystem of bacteria living in your gut, which scientists now call the gut microbiome. We'll get into all of that. But first, let's talk about the different types of fiber. There are two main categories of dietary fiber, and they work in completely different ways inside your body. The first is soluble fiber, and the second is insoluble fiber. Most plant foods actually contain a mix of both. Let's start with soluble fiber. The name says it all. This type of fiber dissolves in water. When it does, it forms a thick, gel-like substance inside your digestive tract. Think of it like a slow-moving gel that coats the inside of your intestines as it travels through. Why does that matter? Because that gel slows everything down. It slows the emptying of your stomach, which means food moves more gradually into your small intestine. This prevents those sharp spikes in blood sugar that can happen when you eat quickly digestible carbs. It also helps trap cholesterol, specifically the bad LDL cholesterol, and escorts it out of your body before it can be absorbed into your bloodstream. On top of that, soluble fiber makes you feel full faster and keeps you feeling full longer. That's a win for weight management. Where do you find soluble fiber? Great sources include oats, beans, lentils, apples, citrus fruits, avocado, barley, and a supplement many of you may have heard of called psyllium husk. Now, insoluble fiber is a very different thing. It does not dissolve in water. Instead, it acts more like a scrub brush. It adds bulk and texture to your stool and physically speeds up how quickly material moves through your intestines. That might not sound glamorous, but it's incredibly important. It's what keeps you regular. It's what prevents constipation, and it helps protect your digestive system from more serious issues down the road. Where do you find insoluble fiber? Great sources include whole wheat flour, wheat bran, nuts, beans, and vegetables like cauliflower, green beans, and potatoes. This is why refined and processed foods are so problematic from a fiber standpoint. For example, white bread, white rice, crackers, sugary cereals. These are all made from refined grains where the outer husk and bran have been removed. The fiber is essentially gone. You're left with fast-burning starch and very little nutritional benefit. Now, let's take a journey through your digestive system and watch fiber in action, because understanding how fiber works is what makes you really appreciate why it matters so much. When you eat a fiber-rich meal, your stomach gets to work. But here's the thing. Your digestive enzymes, the chemical tools your body uses to break food apart, simply do not work on fiber. They can't crack it, so the fiber stays largely intact. Soluble fiber, meanwhile, has absorbed water and become a thick gel. This gel coats the walls of your small intestine and slows down how quickly nutrients are absorbed, especially glucose. This is a huge deal. Instead of sugar rushing into your bloodstream all at once and causing a sharp spike, it trickles in gradually, keeping your blood sugar steady. Your pancreas doesn't have to work overtime pumping out insulin. Your energy stays stable. No crash, no cravings. Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, is physically moving things along, adding weight and bulk to your digestive contents, keeping things flowing smoothly. Here's where the story gets truly exciting. Once fiber reaches your large intestine, or colon, something remarkable happens. it becomes food for the trillions of bacteria living in your gut. That's right. Your gut microbiome, the vast community of microorganisms that live in your large intestine, can do what your own cells cannot. They can ferment and break down these fibers, and when they do, they produce something extraordinary called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. The three main ones are butyrate, acetate, and propionate, and each plays a critical role in your body. Butyrate is particularly impressive. It is the primary fuel source for the cells lining your colon. It literally keeps your gut wall healthy and intact, which is essential because the gut lining acts as a barrier. It lets nutrients into your bloodstream while keeping out harmful bacteria and toxins. Butyrate also has direct anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Studies show it can actually suppress the growth of colon cancer cells. Acetate and propionate circulate in your bloodstream and travel to your liver, muscles, and other organs. They help improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells become better at responding to insulin and absorbing glucose. They modulate the immune system. They reduce systemic inflammation. According to research, a diverse, fiber-rich diet is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate a thriving gut microbiome. And here's the flip side, which should make you sit up in your chair. When fiber intake is low, these beneficial bacteria don't have enough to eat. They begin to starve. And when they starve, they start breaking down the mucus lining of your gut instead, literally eating away at the protective layer of your intestinal wall. Over time, this can lead to increased gut permeability, sometimes called leaky gut, inflammation, reduced microbial diversity, and a dramatically higher risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic disorders. This isn't theoretical. It's backed by multiple large-scale studies. To summarize what happens in the body when you eat fiber: 1. Digestion slows and blood sugar stays stable. 2. Cholesterol is bound and removed. 3. Bowel regularity improves. 4. Your gut microbiome becomes richer and more diverse. 5. Short-chain fatty acids are produced, reducing inflammation and supporting immune function. 6. Satiety increases, helping with weight control. That's 6 major beneficial pathways from a single dietary pattern. It's hard to name another single nutrient that does this much. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The average American consumes somewhere between 10 and 15 grams of fiber per day. The recommendation, which we'll cover in just a moment, is roughly twice to 3 times that amount. And according to data reviewed by major nutrition institutions, a staggering 95% of Americans fail to meet the recommended fiber intake. So, what happens when fiber is chronically low? You're more likely to experience constipation and irregular bowel movements. Over time, the pressure from straining increases the risk of diverticulitis, a painful and sometimes life-threatening condition where the colon wall develops small, infected pouches. LDL cholesterol rises. Blood sugar spikes become more frequent and more severe. Your gut bacteria begin to starve, reducing the diversity of your microbiome. And your long-term risk for obesity, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer all climb. This isn't about fear, it's about facts. And the good news is that this is one of the most correctable nutritional deficiencies in existence. It doesn't require a prescription. It doesn't require an expensive supplement. It requires real food. According to the National Academy of Medicine, here are the daily fiber recommendations by age and sex. Women 50 and under, 25 grams per day. Women over 50, 21 grams per day. Men 50 and under, 38 grams per day. Men over 50, 30 grams per day. Now, here's where it gets fun, because I want these numbers to actually mean something to you. What does 25 to 38 grams of fiber look like in real food? Let me paint a picture for you. 1 cup of cooked black beans contains about 15 grams of fiber. 1 large apple with the skin, about 5 grams. A cup of cooked oatmeal, around 4 grams. A medium avocado, about 10 grams. Half a cup of raspberries, 4 grams. 1 cup of cooked broccoli, about 5 grams. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, roughly 10 grams. That means a breakfast of oatmeal with chia seeds and raspberries gets you close to 18 grams of fiber before lunch. Add a black bean bowl at lunch and an avocado at dinner, and you've not just hit your target, you've exceeded it. You don't have to count grams obsessively. You just need to consistently choose whole, plant-forward foods. To help you visualize 25 grams more concretely, that's roughly 5 medium apples, or about 10 cups of raw spinach, or 1.5 cups of cooked lentils. Each of those alone would get a woman under 50 to her daily target. Of course, the goal isn't to eat just one food. It's to eat a variety of fiber-rich plants throughout the day, because each source brings a different type of fiber and a different set of nutrients. All right, let's get practical. Here are the most effective evidence-based strategies for increasing your fiber intake, and they're all remarkably simple. Tip 1. Choose whole fruits instead of juice. When you drink apple juice or orange juice, you're getting the sugar and most of the vitamins, but you've left almost all of the fiber behind. Eat the whole fruit every time. Tip 2. Swap white grains for whole grains. This is one of the highest impact changes you can make. Replace white rice with brown rice or quinoa. Replace white bread with whole grain bread and check the label. The first ingredient should say whole grain or whole wheat, not enriched flour. Replace regular pasta with whole wheat pasta or legume-based pasta. Tip 3. Add beans to your meals 2 to 3 times per week. Beans are one of the most fiber-dense foods you can eat, and they're also packed with protein and minerals. Toss black beans into tacos, add chickpeas to a salad, stir white beans into a soup. It's an easy, cheap, and delicious upgrade. Tip 4. Add chia seeds, flaxseed, or nuts to your breakfast. A tablespoon or 2 of chia seeds stirred into oatmeal or yogurt is nearly invisible in taste, but adds 5 to 10 grams of fiber. Flaxseed meal is similar. A small handful of almonds with your morning coffee is another simple win. Tip 5. Increase fiber gradually and drink plenty of water. This is critical, especially if your current diet is low in fiber. Jumping from 10 grams to 35 grams overnight can cause bloating, gas, and discomfort as your gut bacteria adjust. Increase your intake over 2 to 4 weeks and make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Fiber, especially soluble fiber, needs water to do its job properly. Without adequate hydration, increasing fiber can actually make constipation worse, not better. Dietary fiber is not a trend. It's not a supplement. It is a fundamental component of the human diet that we have been systematically removing from our food supply over the past century through processing and refinement. And we are paying a serious health price for it. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet tomorrow. Start with one swap and build from there. The bacteria in your gut are waiting. Your health is waiting. Start feeding it right. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates.